Good evening and welcome to Anime Analyst US. How are you doing this evening? I am your host Thomas Fry.
And I am your co-host Hasnan Zedi.
And welcome tonight on this wonderful Wednesday night where we are going to talk about the anime of the hour is the magical revolution and the reincarnated or of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. Um, this was a good anime. I mean, it was more towards the serious side, but it was a good anime. I think they kind of really got, um, the ranking is way off on this. This thing should be under 1,000 somewhere. Its popularity, unfortunately, is not that great. But even with 200,000 members, I kind of wished it was better. I gave it a score of 8. I thought it was that good. And I don't, you know me, I don't give scores much higher than Mal does very often because I'm picky about what I watch. I don't get into the drama ones that much, but this was a heavily um, story, drama, relationship type. The whole thing is a relationship between, the reincarnated princess and the genius Euphyllia and I was on the wrong page. Call me a bad person, and I can never say it. Anisphia. Her nickname's
Helia.
Anis, so
It's not Ophelia, right?
no. Euphyllia is the daughter of the duke. The princess
Oh,
herself is when Anis Anisphia win Palencia.
yeah, they have like really hard names.
Yeah. So what's your first thoughts on this anime?
Okay, so as I started, it was like in the start it was different, but in on the middle I thought like it is not going to be that much special or like there is nothing new. But this keep going and it keep getting interested. Like at the season go, they bring in all the story like because in the first two episodes there was just how they developed the characters, like how they were telling on the. But as she, the best thing I think the best scene was in the first two episodes when she kidnapped the Ophelia and take her to her father and said like I'm going to keep her.
And I don't know about you, but didn't you get the wrong idea the first time she says that? I mean, she just wanted her for an assistant, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna go down here for the whole. I mean, I'm not cool if it's down the whole anime, but they did this in a very tasteful, well illustrated. The plot to the story's understandable. It goes at a pretty good speed, and I know you're very picky about whether an anime is fast or slow. And this anime, I would say it was at 50 to 60% speed. 100 being dumb because it's so fast you can't even understand what's going on, and one being it's so freaking slow. I turned it off before the end of episode number 1 and gave up on it. I would, the ratings right there. I mean, I gave it an 8. I really like they took all 12 episodes and built that relationship up and had different antagonists as they go. They did it in a proper manner, and um, I kind of, I mean, she was reincarnated. This was an isekai, so she was reincarnated, but she didn't play that role like you see on a lot of the animes where
Yeah, I think
they
like they didn't give her the memories like they did because she has a flashback and she has the things like the idea for the airplane, the idea for the kettle that keep your tea warm, like these things like she was making them. But I think on the season it has just a single flashback about the about her past life because they were showing huge buildings, cars and thing like that.
there were two there was the flashback, and also at the end when in episode 12 when she sat Euphyllia down and says, "Look, I have, I'm reincarnated. I, lived in another world and another time, and it was a lot farther advanced." Which, honestly, in all the animes I've watched, we might be advanced on Earth, but I do not have faith in the human race. I mean, all we do is take. We don't give back. I mean, just look at, we cut down trees mercilessly and leave them. And, it's just, I don't want to get in, that's political talk, so I don't want to go there. But this anime makes you think about a lot of things as you're watching it. They really hit this thing. And they call it, now, the genre on this is fantasy girls love. And the themes are, it's an isekai reincarnation, which an isekai is reincarnation. I don't know why they put both those words there. An isekai kind of covers it. You can't be isekai'd with that. Well, I guess you can be isekai'd without being reincarnated, but that's a hero summoning. That's not a reincarnation. So it's a gray line in between all there, but they did a really good job. And I liked all I liked the fact that, she jumps on a broom and now she always says she has no magical power, but in episode 1, she stuck her hand out and boom, that broom came right to her. Now, so I was a little confused on exactly what they meant by she has no magical power. But after the dragon slaying, when, they grind up the dragon's heart into a tattoo ink, and then she gets a tattoo on there. And speaking of which, why don't we go ahead and do it now, because we're about halfway through the show. We are going to introduce to you tonight the MP4 that we built that we'll be putting up on Twitter, YouTube, all over. It is vid number 17, I believe. And we are going to show that to you live tonight. We're going to premiere it right with you while you're sitting there and we're talking right now. So let me start playing that video. And I'll shut up for a couple of minutes because there's some good music with it. So just chill out. Tell us what you think. Right up there on the screen. That's the dragon tattoo.
Yes.
Take me on your
And I built these character info pages. They were not available. The website's down. So I couldn't get them. I had to make them. So hopefully you'll like them too.
And tell me about the people that you know who are trying to feel alive. Life can get hard, so honey, if you need to cry, just come share my pillow and rain, rain, go away. I wanna hear about everything you're ever thinking. You know that I can take the truth. Call me out if you think I'm never slipping. Maybe I can turn it around. Oh yeah. Baby, if you want us, you know time is on our side. If things are gonna haunt us, we'll just have to put aside.
Okay, so check that out when you can. It'll be up on our Twitter page. It'll be on YouTube right after the show. So once I finish getting everything set with the show, I'll get the video uploaded. I like it. I like that choice of music. I love it, actually. It kind of fit perfectly. So I'm kind of proud of this one because I had to make this thing from scratch, and I don't have to do that too many more times. But you know, the one character we missed talking about, and that is Lainey. You know, she didn't even realize she was a vampire. She didn't realize she was, you know, magically forcing everyone to like her. And it actually took me a minute to realize that the kingdom ripped her away from her family and said, sorry, but you can't leave. And she all of a sudden, and then she was like, okay, being a maid. And I was like, okay, well, she's taking this stuff in stride. And then when you see what the brother does to her,
Yes.
you know, Algard, I kind of, if you read his biography, I might have went overboard on that biography. I mean, I do not like that guy, and I spoke my piece in there. So,
But that was a nice twist in the story, like how he turned out to be the guy who was plotting against them, and I think the story was, and
oh yeah, he was a good antagonist. He played the evil ass perfectly, absolutely perfectly. So, what would you? I gave my where I would put this anime. Where would you put this anime?
okay, so from the stats on my anime list, I think the score is accurate, like 4.75. It justifies it. But ranking and popularity are like I was surprised to see that because they have 200,000 members, but still. But I would say like it is a good anime. It has a great story. How they portray the relationship and how they show it, how they're showing the support, like how these both girls helping out each other, and in the last episode, they even fight to save one another. So
I
that
mean,
was something.
honestly, if you look at the number of the fans that like One Piece and what type of anime that is, and then you see a real drama come up, I kind of understand why it, you know, kind of got dumped on. People don't want drama. They don't want real life things. They want fantasy and blah, blah, blah. And this anime did a good job of keeping the fantasy under control and making it, you know, I could actually see all this happening. I mean, it wasn't nothing that was, you know, way out in left field. You know, they go get on a boat in the sea, and then the boat can all of a sudden travel on land, and then it can travel in air, and, you know, it's not like one of those. The cast, the directors, the illustrators, they did a phenomenal job of putting this together. To me, it seems like they probably had a lower budget on this because the illustrations I thought were good, but the level of coloring, it's like it reminds me of, you know, you go watch a movie in 4K and then go watch a 20-year-old movie in HD. You know, you're like, well, you know, I mean, it's not their fault, you know, because we don't know the story behind it. And with the way I think about it, with the website already being down and it you know, it's only last year, maybe that tells me it's a lower budget anime, and they couldn't even have, you know, they cut the website out right after, and they didn't leave it up for people to check it out, and because it takes time for fans to, you know, most people work for a living, and they can't, you know, they're not binge watching 2 or 3 animes in one day like I am. So, you know, I gotta stay up to date so I know what to tell y'all. So that's my excuse. Anyway, I think we're gonna get out of here for today. We hope you like to? Oh, you know what we never even talked about was the new studio cam that I'm gonna get the angles better. I'm waiting for a cord to come in, but we are gonna show what's going on in our studio while we're filming, so you can understand that we go to a lot of trouble to try to bring you the best show we can, and it does take us time. So give us a break on a couple of our older shows where it wasn't so efficiently nice. But we always are striving to give you the best show we possibly can. So hopefully you liked it tonight. We'll be back here Friday with another one from 2023 called Birdie Wing. And that one's a really good one. I would never have thought, because I can't stand watching golf on TV is like the most boring thing in the world. I love baseball, and I can't stand watching baseball on TV. I like to go there, live. It's cool, and I love baseball, but not on TV. No. And hockey's like even worse. But they made this. There's a cool story behind all of this, and it's not just, going out and watching 18 holes. But definitely check out this one, The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady. I think you'll like it. It is a drama, and check out our description in the video, and check everything out, and we will see you guys on Friday. Have a good evening.